Right, so we're going to look at the structure of the nephron. Right, this is within the kidney. Right, let's do it this way. So there's your kidney. The outside is called the cortex. The inside is called the medulla. Right, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at this section where the nephron resides or exists. Right, okay. So this bit here is the cortex, and this bit in the middle is the medulla. Okay, so in the cortex, the yellow bit, that's the outside bit, you get a Bowman's capsule. Right, feeding into that, you get a capillary. It splits up into lots of little capillaries, and then it comes out here. So if you notice that the capillary diameter coming in is larger than the capillary going out, what that does is that increases the pressure and forces, let's try to do it, so it forces fluid out of the blood into the Bowman's capsule. So let's start labeling these. So this is the capillary, this, let's get this right, this structure here, okay, is the Bowman, is the glomerulus. That's the name for it. It's a ball of capillaries. That's where a process called ultrafiltration occurs. So just get used to the language for now. Right, now what happens, right, I just need to correct the spelling here. Let me just correct this. Capillaries. Capillary. Okay. So you've got capillary glomerulus. You've got, let me write that here. It's the Bowman's capsule. Right, okay. Then this tube carries on down here. So the filtrate, the stuff that's been forced out of the blood, comes down here. Then what it does, it heads off into the medulla. Right, this first tube, you can call it the first coiled tubule or proximal coiled tubule, proximal tubule. So we can just call it the first coiled tubule. let's get the spelling right. First coiled tubule. Proximal and distal. Right, then what happens is it goes into the medulla and starts heading off back. So it's doing this, the tube's coming up. Now this here is called the loop of Henle, and it's got a little accent there. Right, it's the loop of Henle. Now in desert animals they have really long loops of Henle because that's where the water's reabsorbed when it needs to be. Right, let's move on. Then you go to the second coiled tubule, or the distal coiled tubule, and then so heads off back down. Right, let's label this up as well. This here is the second coiled tubule. Then what happens is, so this coiled tubule goes down and becomes a collecting duct, and you've got lots of these nephrons, and they all join up. They all join up to the collecting duct, and then this is where the urine goes to the pelvis and then the ureter. So we can label that, where's the blue? We can label that the collecting duct. Collecting duct. Right, that is basically the structure of the nephron, and it's in the kidney. So let's just quickly summarize that. Okay, so we've got the outside of the kidney called the cortex. We've got the inside of the kidney called the medulla. Right, it all starts with this Bowman's capsule. That's that. There's a capillary coming in, large diameter, a capillary leaving, small diameter. It splits up into a ball of capillaries, a lot of little networks. What that does, that increases the pressure in this ball of capillaries, and that ball of capillaries is called a glomerulus. What that does is that forces fluid out of the blood into the Bowman's capsule. It travels down the first coiled tubule, and that's in the cortex, and then it travels down. Let's change that. It travels down this structure and back up, so it loops. It's called the loop of Henle. It goes up into the second coiled tubule, the second coiled tubule in the cortex, and then it heads off down the collecting duct, and you have lots of other nephrons feeding into this collecting duct. It goes into the pelvis and then into the ureter. So that is the nephron. There's a process here, I just want to highlight this. There's a process that takes place here. It's called ultrafiltration. It occurs under pressure where fluid is forced out of the blood. Right, that's enough of that.